Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, August 11th. We have an eviction tonight. Daniel is going. The vote probably will not be unanimous. The leftover alliance seems to still be playing mental games with the rest of the House. So I would anticipate a split vote. They actually formed a fake alliance last night called the Fly Swatters, I think, because they got a couple fly swatters in the house last night, and Joseph and Kyle, Joseph and Kyle, I think, formed an alliance with, I'm air quotes on this alliance part, with Indy, Jasmine, and Alyssa, basically, because other than Terrence, those are the three non-leftovers. So let's keep them in line until after the eviction of Daniel, and maybe even after that, just string them along for a little bit longer. So that fake alliance was formed last night. I doubt it it may make Sunday's show if they explain it as this. We did this to keep the girls faked out, because they do like to show people being blindsided and faked out. It is one of the things that they enjoy showing on TV. So that may end up being shown. It may not. So that's just tonight. Daniel's going. Again, we mentioned it yesterday or the day before. I think maybe it was yesterday, actually. So, Reality Barbecue apparently got a leak heads up, sneak peek at last night's episode, because they included clips of it, but also told us what was going to happen and was accurate about the POV being shown and what wasn't going to be shown, et cetera, et cetera. But then they also included the bit that tonight's competition will be the wall. So everything else is accurate. No reason to doubt that it will not be the wall. So I would expect it to be the wall competition tonight. And we don't know if it'll be shown on the feeds or not. And we also were told that the Festy Bestie twist would end. So it's done. Some would say the damage has been done by the Festy Bestie twist. There's no need for it anymore. It actually would start to present a problem for the house guests as far as the leftover lines and trying to manipulate things, I think. So they're in pretty darn good shape right now, where they have enough influence over the remaining house guests so they can manage to probably keep somebody nominated. Specifically, the Terrence is not in great with most of the with Indy, with all. Well, who's Terrence in good with? I'm not sure. If I had to say, who is Terrence in good with Jasmine and Alyssa and Indy. Honestly, right now, I'm not sure where he stands with them. He's been pretty much hanging out with. He's hung out with Jasmine a bit. He is the one who, as they showed on last night's episode, told Jasmine that Turner was the one that was messing with her muffins. Even though no one else confirmed it, and so Jasmine wasn't 100% sure. But I don't know, guys. I'm just kind of waiting as I was getting ready to record this, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about that I haven't talked about already as far as stuff? This Fly Swatter Alliance is kind of the newest, quote, development. I think Joseph and Taylor still just a pretend romance, which they kind of showed on TV last night. I thought, wow, are they going to really try to make people think that there's something actually going on between Joseph and Taylor more than just the flirting? And but they didn't, and they used it as an opportunity to do more Lay's potato chip commercial. But Kyle and Alyssa have kind of revealed their showmance a little bit more to people, and so that's a little bit more out in the open. Not that I think it particularly matters. Sooner or later, Kyle's going to have to break up this showmance, but I don't think Alyssa's going to care. I think I thought Alyssa was getting bored with Kyle. I think Alyssa, in the end, still will be bored with Kyle. I don't think they're going to last long once the season's over. But they'll be an item all the way through the end of the show. That's about where I see that going. And I'm going to guess Kyle will be the one that will get his, quote, heart broken, but he will land on his feet. And continue to be seen on TikTok, I'm guessing. All right, so what else do we got going on? The whole internet, or parts of the internet, mad because it turns out that when Jasmine and Indy had their heads covered with a blanket. I don't know if I talked about that yesterday morning or not. At one point, Jasmine and Indy covered their heads with a blanket and were mouthing, whispering words. And it turns out that it seems like what was being said is Jasmine was telling Indy that she kind of had a crush on Joseph. Okay, whatever. I mean, she and then the internet, parts of the internet freaked out because Jasmine is, of course, married, and how dare she find another person attractive, and that she's been living with now for over a month, which in the Big Brother world is months and months because of time compressing, since they're together all the time. And just the people on the internet are like trying to reach out to Jasmine's husband and say, look at what your wife's doing, how dare she look at another man, and this has happened multiple times in the past. Specifically, what comes to mind is Christine and Cody in Big Brother 16, where the two of them hung out a lot together, and people just freaked out on Christine that she shouldn't even be giving Cody the time of day because she was married. And they weren't doing anything. They were not doing anything other than they were spending a lot of time together, and perhaps cuddling, kind of a thing, but there wasn't anything romantic. There was never a hint of romance. It was just that it seemed like Christine was really falling for Cody. And people really just decided to just vilify Christine on the feeds. And the thing is that Christine's husband was very active on social media, and so he was having to watch. Not that he was having to watch that happen, because he was watching the feeds. He was actually supportive of Christine, but more of he had to listen to people yell and scream about him. Now, Jasmine's husband, to the best of my knowledge, is not active on social media, so it's not quite the same. But just the fact that people are deciding that they're going to condemn Jasmine for no more than just saying, I kind of have a crush on Joseph. Not that she wants to act on it. She's a really attractive guy who's really a gentleman and very friendly and flirty in the house. And I kind of, anyways, I digress, but you get my point. Lighten up, people. This isn't going to end up with anything happening. Joseph is not interested in Jasmine that way, and Jasmine isn't going to come out and go like, you know what, husband, I'm fallen for another man and I'm leaving you. None of that's happening. It's just a crush of seeing an attractive guy while you're stuck in a house for 3 months. All right, so that went on. Sorry, dealing with traffic now as I approach the end of my drive. What else? Let me think. Wall competition tonight. Eviction show. The vote shouldn't be even. I mean, the vote shouldn't be a landslide. It will be a bit of a, there'll be a bit of a lopside. I don't know if the house guests will be surprised. I think Terrence may be surprised if they manage to string him along to think that he's going to be able to sway the vote, and he'll realize that he didn't have it. But Terrence is, I hate to say it, harmless. He has nobody with him. He's got no power. It appears that he could have won the power of veto Saturday and chose not to. Not that it would have made a difference in the end. Well, Joseph would have. But see, if Joseph had won it, I think any of them could have used it. I think, right? So even if not Joseph, Terrence. If Terrence had won it, I think Joseph or Monty could have said, "I'm not taking that chance. We're using it." And Monty would have said, "Nope, I'm not staying up here. I'm using it." So it really wouldn't have made a difference in the end, other than Michael wouldn't have won his fourth power veto. So no matter what, I can't see. As far as we talked about this yesterday on my Twitch stream, as far as who might win the wall. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. Tends to be a person who's fairly light and athletic, or a low center of gravity. That's why James, as he was known as, and his nickname, Asian James, is that's why he won at least two, because he's very short and he had a low center of gravity, and that's important when you are on that wall and at a weird angle. The lower your center of gravity, the less pressure it is on you to fall forward because you're closer to the actual wall and that platform that you're on. So so who's short and not too big physically, and the people that in my mind come to mind are Indy is one, although I think she may be a little bit too. She's a bit bigger. She's got a little bit more weight up top, to be quite honest. So I think that may be a bit of a difficulty for her. But I think she's fairly athletic, so she has a chance to possibly do it. The other ones that come to mind are Alyssa, although she's talked about how she's not athletic at all. She's just very fit. She doesn't have a lot of extra weight. I don't think she's physically fit. She's talked about not being strong. She may be stronger than we know, but so Alyssa's a possibility. The one that really comes to mind is Turner as being possible. Remember, Turner won Head of Household already, the last quote endurance, so beating Amira. So definitely Turner is a possibility. I was thinking Alyssa or Turner. I think people like Michael will not be competing. I think Kyle and Monty are too tall, in my opinion, to be able to hold themselves against that wall for that long. Daniel won't be there. Taylor is another possibility, although she's taller, but she's a possibility. So that was the other one. Yeah. So I think Taylor, Alyssa, or Turner are the three, and possibly Indy, four that I think might end up winning this. Now, as usually happens in previous years, I know when I've kind of gone through ticked off these lists and made these predictions, at least one or two of them go out really quick that I just listed. I'll be like, yeah, well, so much for that theory. So I won't be surprised if Turner drops within a few minutes. Someone asked me last night too, what do you think? Do you think it'll last an hour, more than an hour? And you know what? I don't think so. I don't think it'll last incredibly long. There's a there's a 7-person alliance in the House. We're going to be down to the votes is 9 people are voting, right? So there'll be 11 people left. There'll be 10 people on the wall, and of those 10 people, 7 or 6 are in an alliance. So 6 out of 10 people are in an alliance. They will be happy with any of the other 5 winning it. So once the right number of people drop, the other people won't care as much. They'll let it go. Some of them will may want to say, "Oh, I want to see pictures. I want to see family." But some of them, they'll just drop. And so I'm not anticipating a super long endurance competition. So yeah, an hour, maybe hour and a half, maybe. Will we see it on the feeds? We don't know. So there's all that. That's what I got for you folks. I say that because I am literally pulling into work. So I need to wrap this sucker up. What are we at? We are at 15 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. If I get any more news between now and the actual competition, I will fire it up and leave a short little podcast. But otherwise, I will talk to you tomorrow morning when we know who the new head of household is and have an idea on who nominations will be. All right? Thanks, everybody. Thank you to my patrons and everybody else. I hope you have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.